Hello everyone. Hope this finds you all well wherever you are. I'm Qazi Rahman. I'm a medical doctor and an epidemiologist. Today I'm going to talk about coronavirus and its transmission, and by this time we all know about this. But I'll try to gather the evidence that have been generated so far. So I thought that it'd be good to have a look at the entire picture together. With this Greek statue, and you can see the corona that the person is, or the Greek god is wearing. And I found this photo which is a wreath of flower, and it looks exactly like struggling with at this time. And its coronavirus is known as CoV, and it is an RNA virus. It causes diseases in mammals and birds. And interestingly, there are 7 coronaviruses that can infect humans, and 4 of them are common, and they can cause mild respiratory tract infections. They're always there. And there are 3 forms which are rare and which can cause severe illnesses. And this include the MERS-CoV, Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus, and SARS-CoV and SARS-CoV-2. So SARS stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, and the SARS coronavirus that emerged in 2003, it raised that public health emergency of international concern, and now we have the SARS coronavirus 2, which has spread across the whole world and causing significant morbidity and mortality. So if we look at the nomenclature, coronavirus, it belongs to the family Coronaviridae and the genus Beta coronavirus, and the species is known as severe acute respiratory syndrome related coronavirus. And the researchers, they looked at the blood samples taken from 9 individuals at the early stage of the current outbreak in late December, and they did genome sequencing of 10 samples, and they found that they were very identical, and they were also closely related to 2 bat derived SARS-like coronaviruses. They were 88% similar to those bat derived coronaviruses, and we know that the SARS related coronavirus, bats are their natural reservoirs. And it is also known that it has also been hypothesized that in a seafood market in Wuhan, in China, the virus came from bats and transmitted to human being through an intermediate host, and it hasn't been identified yet which was exactly that intermediate host. So I live in Australia, and the question can naturally come like, are we have lots of bats here, so the question is, do the bats which are here, can they transmit the virus to us as well? Do they have the virus? uh, they have tested bats for coronaviruses here, and they have found that there is no evidence of SARS, MERS, or the new coronaviruses in Australian wildlife, including bats, although there are beta coronaviruses and alpha coronaviruses in bat families here, but not those 3 ones. Now, researchers have mentioned recently that there are 2 types of SARS coronavirus 2. One is the L type, which is the more prevalent overall and was more prevalent in the early stages of the outbreak in Wuhan, more aggressive and spread more quickly, and the other type is evolutionarily older and is less aggressive. So the question is, how does SARS coronavirus spread? We all know about this. It can spread through our coughing, our sneezing, through droplets, and those droplets can go up to 6 feet. So wearing mask will be very important for people who have symptoms to prevent the spread of droplets and the transmission of the virus if they are infected. Now the question is, do face masks protect against coronavirus COVID-19, which is the coronavirus disease 2019, and which face masks? So face masks not recommended for general population here in Australia at least, and people who have symptoms and might be infected with COVID-19, they are advised to wear surgical face masks. And healthcare workers who are caring for patients with suspected COVID-19, they should take appropriate personal protective measures. But the droplets that people is spreading through sneezing and coughing, they can directly land on the faces of people who are nearby, but they can also land on surfaces. And if someone touch that surface and then touch someone's face or nose or eye, then the virus can also enter through the body. That is another way of the virus entering our body. And that's why there was a study which observed students, and they found that people are touching their faces and 23 times per hour, so which is very common, and which is which was a habit of ours which can become harmful these days. And that's why hand hygiene is very important, and maintain hand hygiene by washing our hands regularly, and we need to wash our hands at least for 20 seconds. And people are saying that if you sing happy birthday to you twice, then you will be actually and wash your hands, then you will be actually washing your hands for 20 seconds. And of course you can use hand sanitizers, although these have become very rare these days, and ethanol based hand sanitizers are good. And it would be good to have one in your pocket if you can find them in the market. How about disinfecting the surface itself? We have seen this photo, but the question is, how feasible is that, and whether that will be good for people who, because these people are using sodium hypochlorite or a certain percentage of bleach, and whether it can make people more vulnerable, their respiratory tract more susceptible for future coronavirus infections. It is good to disinfect surfaces which are indoor, and using sodium hypochlorite or ethanol based solutions, that can be good. This study, it looked at the persistence of coronavirus, is not the new one but the older ones, on different surfaces. It tested their persistence, and this study has been published this year, and a group of researchers from Germany did this research, and they have found that the persistence of virus on the surface depends on the dose. So how much sneezing or coughing a person has done on a particular surface, that's important. And the other important thing is that the temperature, the higher the temperature is, the persistence can be lower. But it has been found that the SARS coronavirus, but not the new one, but the old one, can survive up to 9 days on plastic. And also the study has looked at different hospital materials like gloves, then disposable gown where the virus can survive for 2 days maximum, and also utensils. So in short, the SARS coronavirus can remain infectious and persist on surfaces from 2 hours up to 9 days, including plastic, the maximum 5 days on steel, aluminum, metal, glass, plastic, PVC, Teflon, 4 days on wood and paper, 2 days or less on disposable gown, 8 hours on surgical gloves. And it has been found that higher temperature, for example 30 degree versus 40 degree, will reduce duration of persistence. Persistence was longer with higher dose. At room temperature, higher humidity makes it favorable for the virus for its longevity. This is a recent paper, and this study looked at the persistence of the new coronavirus on different surfaces, like plastic, where it can survive up to 3 days, steel, where it can survive up to 3 days, copper up to 4 hours, cardboard up to 24 hours, and they have significant implications for various reasons. This study looked at the shedding of virus through stool, which can be another mode of transmission of the virus, and they found that anal swabs were tested more positive at the later stage of the disease. And although so far there is no fecal oral transmission of the virus, this can be a possible route of transmission at some point in different country settings where people uh, clean themselves after defecations in different ways, and it will also depend again on hand washing and hand hygiene or overall hygiene. This is my last slide, and the question was, can pets at home spread the coronavirus, the new coronavirus? There was one report from Hong Kong which said that they found uh, a dog with positive test results for coronavirus, and it was low positive, but so far we do not still have strong evidence for that, and this is a WHO advice that came out recently, and it's saying that we should not be worried about that, and so far we should be assured that the virus is not transmitting from human being to the pet animals, or not from the pet animals to human beings. But it is always good to maintain the hygiene for both the animals and ourselves. So I'd like to thank you again for watching, and I hope to talk to you again in future. Stay well. Bye.